So as I mentioned earlier, our goal today is to have the viewers be able to walk away with a business plan. And our next step now is really to dig in to actually build a business plan. So Bernie's back with us, and she's going to kind of walk us through that.
Well, thanks, Kurt. Yes, I'm happy to help. But here's first of all what we're going to cover in this section. We're going to talk about why do a business plan. We're going to talk about how to use it and building your plan. So if you have the right characteristics, you have a marketable product or service, and the ability to make enough money to meet your business and personal obligations, then it's time to build your plan.
So tell us, Bernie, why should we build a business plan? Why is that so important?
Well, first of all, it takes your risk out on paper. It reflects your ability to plan and organize concepts, and it helps you understand the depth of your business knowledge. The person reading your plan should be able to visualize the business. It should provide a good look at the business. It should demonstrate feasibility. It provides a tool for effective management of your business. It communicates your ideas to us, to your lender, to your management team, and to yourself. It should move your business from being reactive to being proactive. It points everyone in the same direction, your management team, your employees, your family. It should identify opportunities for your business. It should focus attention on the important questions facing your business.
So now that you've identified those reasons why, how do you actually use it in a practical manner, Bernie?
Well, first of all, it should provide a feasibility study of your business. Second, you should use it to benchmark the performance of your business. Review it from time to time. Use your plan as a reminder of the goals you set for your business. Use it as a means for assigning priorities based on the needs and goals of your business. And finally, it's your financing proposal to a lender, which can be a bank, a non-traditional lender, an economic development group, a partner, or an investor. They'll all want to see your plan.
So what you're telling me, Bernie, is that if I'm lucky enough to get financing and move forward, I don't just throw it in the drawer. That business plan is something I'm going to have to relook at again. Is that correct?
Right, because things are going to change. You're going to need to adjust your plans, your goals. Circumstances might come along that require you to really rethink your whole process. It's an ongoing process. It's going to come back to you all the time.
Okay. What's the best place for us to start with?
Well, you want to create a narrative that's going to tell us further about your business concept by telling us the history of your business. First of all, if you have an existing business, describe what's happened to it. If you're purchasing an existing business, tell us their history. Be sure you get their financials and their tax returns to look at. If you're starting a new business, what is it? What are the trends?
Does it make a difference how I set my company up, Bernie?
Yes, there are definitely advantages and disadvantages to various ownership structures. A sole proprietorship is easy to set up and easy to operate. It's the most common form of business ownership. You're required to file a certificate of assumed name for your business with the Secretary of State's office before you can begin using that business name. A partnership is more complex and requires a good working relationship between partners. A written partnership agreement is needed that clearly spells out the details of how the business will operate and the responsibilities of each partner. Partnerships don't always work out well, so you need to go into it with clear expectations. A filing again with the Secretary of State's office is required for your business trade name. Corporations and limited liability companies require filing articles of incorporation and articles of organization with the Secretary of State's office, so they actually create a separate legal entity that operates the business. These structures have advantages for taxes and liability protection, but they're also more complex and they have more legal requirements to follow.
Where can I get the help to decide what structure is going to be best for me, Bernie?
I can recommend a good website for explanation of the various business forms. It's listed here on your screen. You can click on the link to take you to the information page. Or in Minnesota, we have a great resource tool, the book Going Into Business in Minnesota. It includes a section on ownership structure. And this book is free from the state's Department of Employment and Economic Development. Or you can pick up a copy from our office or your local EDA office. It's a great reference tool, and there are many sections here on helping you start or expand a business. So find out what the advantages and disadvantages of the various ownership structures are for your particular situation. The best people to help you make an informed decision are your tax accountant or your attorney. They can also help you with the LLC or incorporation process. Click on the link below and write down your proposed business structure. Again, this may change as you proceed in your planning. So Make notes on your proposed location. Describe it. Where is it? Why did you choose this location? Write down the advantages and disadvantages. Will you have multiple locations you're working out of? Are you going to be working out of your home? Will you have a retail outlet? Are you going to have to rent a storage facility or shop, etc.?
What else should I explain about my business and my location, Bernie?
Well, tell us what your facilities are going to be like. Are you going to try to buy a building, or can you lease? What's the cost? Describe the type of facility and the condition. Will you need to make renovations? Be sure you've gotten good estimates of the cost of remodeling. Do you know what regulatory requirements you'll have to meet? Have you talked to the city and county building inspectors or other regulatory agencies? Be sure you know what the costs will be to meet the requirements for your business. Make a checklist of those things you have to do yet in this regard, because this can be the biggest portion of your startup or expansion costs. So be sure you know what it's going to cost you, so you won't run short of working capital.
So what else do I need to know, Bernie?
Well, you need to research your equipment needs. It's another big cost factor in your plan. Like the facilities section, this part of your plan is also all about making lists. In this case, a lender needs to know what you're bringing into the business with regard to your own equipment. So start your list with what you have now and put a reasonable fair market value on it. Next, make a list of what you need to get. Do some research. Can you buy the items used and in good condition? That can save you a lot of money. Add your expected costs for each major item of equipment. Group the smaller items together and estimate their cost. Again, make a thorough list of what you have to start this project. While some convenience items are nice to have, will they actually help you make money? Concentrate on what you need. Buy the extras later, if your business can warrant it. Lenders will respect your request if you've been reasonable in your expectations.
Can you explain to us what collateral is, Bernie?
Yes, that is a really good question. A lot of times people don't quite understand what collateral is. Collateral is the property or items you own or are purchasing with the loan that are offered to a lender to secure the loan. Your property will have a lien filed against it with the state, which is not released by the lender until the loan is paid off. Just to be aware, the values of the equipment items will be discounted by the lender, as they would not be worth what you paid for them if the lender had to repossess the property because of non-payment of the loan. A bank lender will require their loans to be fully collateralized. The other area you need to investigate costs is insurance. Contact your insurance agent, find out what the costs will be for insuring your business assets, your property, equipment, or vehicles. Get a solid estimate. You can and should get a couple of bids so you can compare coverage and costs. Do not cut yourself short on coverage. Additional insurance for property or liability coverage costs only a fraction more than the base amount to add dollar value. Workers' compensation is required if you have employees. Your business insurance agent should also be able to give you a quote on that cost. Now, if your business is such that there are physical hazards of any kind, disability insurance is a good idea. What would you do if you were injured in your business? Who would be able to take over for you? Life insurance coverage is usually required by any lender unless it's a small loan request. You can usually get by with term insurance. Find out what your potential lender will require.
So Bernie, are there any other costs that I need to be looking for?
Yes, you'll need to research and estimate your startup needs for inventory, supplies, legal expenses. The amount of working capital you'll need is a number you'll be able to add into your plan after you've completed your financial projections and see what your cash flow needs are to make it through the first several months of your operations. You'll not have a lot of sales right away, but you will have a lot of startup expenses in the operation. Click on the link, write down the things that you do know for any of these startup costs, and make lists of what you need to research yet. Some of these numbers will also be needed as you prepare financial projections for your business.
Bernie, tell us what we need to include about marketing and how is that going to fit into the business plan?
From Jackie's earlier presentation, write in any notes you may have started on your market analysis, answering these questions to the best of your ability after you've done some market research. They include defining your goods and services offered, market analysis. What is your target market? Is there a market? Give us your industry overview and trends, the competition profile, market segment, what are your marketing strategies, and the price analysis and break-even point. Make lists of what needs to be done. You can go back and review the previous marketing segment at any time, as that may help you create this portion of your plan.
Okay, Bernie, so that's a great option. We're able to actually go back and review what we've already put into the business plan, is that correct?
Yes, and you can use that option for this segment of your business plan also. Start your operations plan section. Address the items that pertain to your business idea. Most of these items will apply in every business plan. Talk about how are you going to produce your product, quality control, customer service, inventory, licenses, permits, regulations, intellectual property if you have that, environmental considerations, and risk management. Most of these items will apply in every business plan. So take this list and write your thoughts down.
So, Bernie, is there a place in the business plan that I can show the lender that I'm actually qualified to run this business?
A lender will want to see your experience and qualifications for this business, and they'll especially like to know what management experience you may have had. Any educational programs or classes you've taken in starting or managing a business will be very beneficial. This webcast is an excellent example of an educational class that you'll want to mention that you've completed. List your resource team and any consultants you've used. This shows that you're serious about this idea. If you have a resume, you can use that, but be sure to update it and make it relevant to your business plan. Finally, define your goals. It's a proven fact that people that have written goals have a greater chance of achieving their goals. It helps you plan for the future, keeps you focused on what you want to do. Write them down. So after all this work on your plan, you're ready to create your executive summary. Remember when you created your business concept statement, when we first started? By this time, you should be able to take that original concept statement, expand on it, and explain on the following points. Answer the questions: who you are, what kind of business you plan to open, expand, or purchase, what you wish to do with this business, what's the overall project cost, how much do I have to invest, how much do I need to borrow, what are my expected financing sources.
Typically, Bernie, the executive summary is the first thing that will be read in a report or a piece of information that is important to other people. Why is it that we're doing this at the very end?
Well, Kurt, you wrote your business concept statement earlier, but now you've taken the time to study the basis for your business idea, which may have changed from your original statement. Waiting until you have done the work will allow you to create a meaningful summary to place at the beginning of your business plan narrative. Remember, this business plan will probably be presented to several groups of people: potential lenders, your management team, business consultants, and your family members. It's important that you show clear focus in your business idea and present a reasonable plan. This is your opening statement, so give it your best shot.
Well, Bernie, you've done a great job of taking us through this process. There's a lot of information there, and I think it's important to mention that basically it's a question and answer as you go through that business plan template that we've given you. There's a lot of questions that we're asking you. We can't possibly know what all the questions are for each industry, but this is a really great start. So there are other things that they're going to have to put in to that business plan, is that correct?
Yes.
And so as we move forward, just to recap, Bernie, I just want to follow up that if you have any other questions as you go through this, take some time on this and review what you have and spend some time actually rewriting if you need to. So Bernie, thanks so much. We really appreciate it. And now we're on to our next segment.